this finishes our trip to Karachi. Heading out for our next leg of our trip to Medina and then to Turkey. Settling down now on our flight back from Karachi to Jeddah and then to Medina, and then after a day and a half from Medina to Jeddah, back Jeddah and on to Turkey, Istanbul, Turkey. Alright, so at least we got here earlier than the rest, so everything should move faster than usual. In Al Fursan lounge in Jeddah Airport, domestic transfer portion. It's pretty good, decent, but nothing compared to what Turkish lounge was in Istanbul. Got these nice sandwiches and okay, these are fresh juices, I guess. Boarding the flight to Medina. Thank you. Just 1 second. It fit in the Elantra. How can it not fit in this? Hang on. What is that on the side? Size. ये क्या रखा है side में? ये क्या है क्या? अच्छा, first aid. Okay, so now we are just picking up the car. It's a beautiful new Ford Taurus that doesn't come in the United States, but it's a really commendable package. The problem over here is that no matter how nice the car is, it'll be filled with smoke smell, and this is no exception. Yeah, these are some mountains in Medina near the airport that are actually lit up during the night time. Look at these lights. Okay, now we are in Medina, I think, getting near Haram.
For 3 kilometers.
Going to our hotel, but it is amazing actually. Last time I was here, it was all most of it was in rubbles, and they were trying to rebuild a lot of buildings. And today it looks much better. So now they've closed all this area, and look at that masjid. That's the entrance, one of the gates. Gate number 22, that is. Where is the parking for this hotel though? यहीं पे टर्न करने के लिए कह रहे थे तो यहाँ पे होना चाहिए। हाँ लेकिन पूरे नहीं खा सकता, वो मैं पहले बता दूँ। तो हाँ ये देखें, दिस इज़ द वे यहाँ पे खाया जाता है कि सब कुछ उलट लिया आपने इस पे, कोई प्लेट्स का कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं, कुछ नहीं। ये क्या है गुफरान? ये
This is one of the most special form of hafsa with mutton.
Oh wow! और ये सऊदी वो है।
This is a Saudi traditional dish.
अच्छा ज़बरदस्त, चलें अब देखते हैं। पर बड़ा यूनिक स्टाइल है। अच्छा, जिसको आप लोग देसी ज़बान में चटनी भी कह सकते हैं। यार ये मेरे पसंदीदा फूड्स में से एक है। We're inside the Haram Medina. Couldn't go during nighttime because the traffic was really bad and there was nowhere to park. Approaching Masjid Quba. We're gonna read Zohar over there, inshallah. Right now entering Masjid Quba for Zohar. What is your experience like so far?
Buildings that you only hear about. You know, that's an experience in of its own. Aside from, you know, exploring all of Medina itself.
Yeah, we're exploring Medina by road. So that's kind of adding to the, I guess, overall experience, good or bad. But mashallah, this is a beautiful setup that they've done. It used to be a very small mosque, but this was the first mosque built. So we just read Zohar in Masjid Quba. Now moving on. So many people still showing up. That's it. So we have just come to this Madinah Museum that I keep telling everyone about to go and visit. And I'll try to make some coverage. It's a guided tour.
So this is the Kaaba. When Nabi Ibrahim came to Mecca, the Kaaba was not there. Nothing was there, but this pile there. So Nabi Ibrahim took up the foundations, and then he raised the walls of the Kaaba. Got it? That's how big Nabi Ibrahim made it. 15 by 10 meters. See, he made it 15 by 10 meters, back to its original size, 15 by 10. And then 10 years later, Al-Hajjaj bin Yusuf made it smaller again and put back the semicircle. And that's how it is today. So since the time of Al-Hajjaj, no one has changed the Kaaba. It's been the same for the past 1,300 years. People in Mecca wanted to rebuild the Kaaba. Look at that, all the families participated, everything was good. Like each family was responsible for one side of the Kaaba, subhanAllah. And when the time came for them to place the black stone in its corner, they literally stopped the work and began to fight over the black stone. They knew it was sacred, and that's why they were fighting over it. It's reported that the fight lasted 4 days. And then the oldest amongst them came and said, this is not the way we should do it. They said, let's wait in the Haram. The Haram is this wall here, look at it. So this is the Haram. He said, let's wait in the Haram, and the first person that comes into the Haram will decide. Whatever that person says, we'll just follow. And subhanAllah, it was the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. They were very happy to see him because they knew that the Nabi was wise and fair. So look what the Prophet did. He asked for a piece of cloth, you see the white one. He spread it out. He placed the black stone in the middle. And then he said, they carried the cloth to the corner together. And then the Prophet picked up the black stone and put it in the corner. This way all the families participated, and that shows the wisdom that a Nabi had, which is 35 years old, sallallahu alayhi wa. Okay, so we call this Dome of the Rock. Inside there is a huge rock. Muslims believe it is the one from which the Prophet ascended. Okay, the Muslims built this masjid around it, and that's what they call the Dome of the Rock. And that one is Al-Qibali. Qibali comes from Qibla, it's the first Qibla in Islam. And Al-Qibali is also where Prophet Muhammad led all the prophets of Allah in prayer. So on that night of Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj, the Salah was in this masjid right here, and the ascension was from this masjid. And not because you see these two a lot on TV, we think one of them is Al-Aqsa, but they're both part of Al-Aqsa, because Al-Aqsa is the whole compound. It's a sheep camel that the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam bought from Abu Bakr right before the Hijrah. She stayed with the Prophet for 11 years, 10 years, from the Hijrah to his death. When the Prophet passed away, this camel became very sick. She cried a lot, and that's why she went blind. And then she stopped eating and drinking until she died. She died a month after his death. She was 14. Camels lived for 30, 35 years, so she was young. This is the camel that he rode to Medina. She participated in many battles, such as Badr and the conquest of Mecca. And even when he was delivering Khutbah al-Wada, the Pharaoh's sermon, he was on that camel. That's why her name. Probably gave her that name because she was one of the fastest camels. SubhanAllah, there's that connection between humans and animals. Some animals, when they know that their owners are dead or sick, something happens to them. Sometimes they die because of it, and that's exactly what happened to the camel of the Prophet ﷺ. Here, the dark area, this is the lava, the volcanic mounds. So we have that in the west, see there? In the east, you see here, brothers in front of you. And in the south as well. These volcanic mounds are very sharp. It's not easy to walk on that even now. So back at the time of the Prophet, if the people wanted to come into Medina, they wouldn't come from these three sides. No, that was not safe. they would actually go around and come from the north. And that's why the Battle of Uhud and the Battle of the Trench were on that side. You know, a lot of people ask this question like, Mecca is in the south, but the people of Quraysh came and attacked Medina from the north. Why didn't they attack from the south? Subhanallah, the volcanic mounds prevented them. 5, look, by 30 meters. This is the Nabawi, by the way. The big roof was for Salah. The Sahaba used to pray towards Al-Aqsa. And the small one in the back was for Ashab al-Sufa. You know them? Some of the companions maybe didn't have houses, so that's where they used to live. You know, they were poor companions. They used to live in the back of the Masjid. Like Abu Hurairah, Bilal bin Rabaha. They say they were, scholars say that the Ashab al-Sufa were over 400 companions. After the time of the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, they made it over 6,000 square meters. And because of it, the houses of the wives became inside the masjid. See the big dome? That one represents Aisha's house. But at that time, they didn't have any of these domes. Okay? These domes were built in between 1481 and 1487. In 1481, a lightning hit that minaret. You know, a lightning from Allah. And the lightning damaged the entire masjid. Okay? So they had to rebuild the masjid. They made it of red bricks when they added these domes. And these domes were like a sound system, you know, echo system. When the Imam says Allahu Akbar, everyone in the masjid hears the Imam. Okay? The green dome was built during the Mamluks, this one. They made it silver, and then the Ottomans made it the green 175 years ago. The Ottomans also expanded the masjid. They made it 10,000 square meters. So if you look at the domes, so these domes are, as I said, they were like a sound system, okay? For the two big domes, the silver one, it's still there. Did you guys see it in the Haram? That's where the Imam used to pray. They call it the Imam Dome. But today the Imam prays in the Rawdah, 10 meters behind that. The green one is over the house of Aisha. And that's where the Prophet ﷺ, that's where his grave is, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That was in the time of King Abdulaziz and King Saud. So King Abdulaziz started this in 1952. He died in the same year. So his sons were complete. It took him like 3 years, 52 to 55. This U-shape and the courtyard, all of that is the expansion of King Fahd. It took him 10 years to do it from 84 to 94. The size is 350,000 square meters and the capacity is 1 million, including the outside, the inside, and the rooftop as well. Inshallah. And inshallah with the new expansion, the one behind Baqi, did you see the cranes behind Baqi? Is the new expansion, inshallah, the capacity will be double. So they're aiming for 2 million this year. This is the one that Umar bin Abdulaziz built. Okay? Umar bin Abdulaziz built it. Okay? And subhanAllah, the Pentagon is sealed up, as I said. You ladies, you can see this, right? So no one gets in there. No cleaners, no presidents, no. Okay? This wall around the Pentagon is the one that we see today. So initially, it was made of wood. And when the lightning hit the masjid, remember the lightning? They had to rebuild it. So they made it of metal casing. So the golden gates you see today are from that time, 500 years old. The graves are behind the middle gate. So you stand before the middle gate and you look through, you see something green. So the men see that green cloth and they think it's the grave. But that's not true. The grave is inside. We do not see it. This is in Islam. The body has to be on the right shoulder facing the Qibla. So here in this model, the Qibla is this way. So Nabi Sallallahu is on the right shoulder, this is the right shoulder, and the face towards the Qibla. So when you stand before the golden gates here, you're actually in line with, like, you're facing the face of Nabi Sallallahu. Almost a decade just to build this model alone. Over 400 people participated in building it. By the way, this model is documented by the Saudi government. Okay, so everything that you see here is 95% correct. Look at the ProphetsMosque. It's been always in the center of Medina. And Medina had 3 walls. You see, this is the first wall. This is the second, all the way to that black mountain. Look at it there. And that one is the third. Got it? These walls had gates. They used to open in the morning after Fajr and close in the evening after Maghrib. No one was allowed to come into Medina after Maghrib. Maybe some of you know this, but the sa' is what we use for the zakat. The zakat al-fitr is supposed to be food. Now we have 2 types of zakat. I'm not sure if you know this. We have zakat al-mal, which is your yearly income. That's 2.5. And we have zakat al-fitr. Before the Eid of al-fitr, there's a sadaqah you have to give, and it's supposed.
So every time you want to take a shower, remember that 3 liters was enough for him. You don't have to spend half an hour in the shower, you know? Jazakallah khair.